Everyone, welcome to another edition of Independent Artists Unite Song Series. I'm super thrilled to have back one of my favorite artists to talk about his new EP and his new single, Walking Through Your Day, April Afternoon.
Hey, how
Welcome
are you,
back.
man? Great. Yeah, it's great to be back here. Yeah.
I'm such a fan, man.
Thank you. Thank you
And
so
I'm
much.
and I'm happy other people are too. These streams are going I just looked at your on Spotify. It seems like people are streaming your songs and enjoying them, and I'm so happy for you.
Yeah, it's going in the right direction, right? Yeah, there's a little bit of PR efforts going behind that, as you probably know. But yeah, that's it's great. It's great to see that there's some resonance, in the music. So that's great. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's interesting. You with walking through your day, you described this as a bit darker. This
Oh
this
yeah.
song,
Yeah.
and it does have a little bit different vibe to it. And I also noticed your voice is dipping down to a little lower, some lower notes and stuff than I've heard you on before, which gives it a
Yeah.
cool vibe as well. Um, what when you started working on this, did you think, hey, I'm gonna darken things up a little bit with this, or did it just come out that way?
It did just come out that way. It all started around a theme I created with synthesizers like this theme, da 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 da,
Hmm.
and I created the entire song around it. So starting with the synthesizers, coming up with something I would say instrumental, then creating a vocal part around it. And at a certain time, I just thought by myself, well, this is really something dark. And I think I was influenced by, this genre called electronic body music,
Mm.
which was really like a dark genre in the 1980s, with, bands like, I don't know, Nitzer Ebb or Front
Okay.
242. I was
Hmm.
listening to those bands at the time, like these really, I don't know, sort of masculine kind of vibes around it, like really dark, like military kind of vibes around it.
Mm.
I was thinking maybe I could incorporate something of this in my own songs, and it became this dark song, also theme-wise, but we're gonna probably talk about that later on.
Yeah, and did that so that came first though, the theme and the lyrics and stuff, or
Yeah, well,
or
so it
which came first,
started with,
or did it start with a synth riff
yeah, it all
at
started
first?
with a synth, and then, I created the song around it. So it started with a synth, with some sequencers around it, a drum computer, and then, after a while, I finished this instrumental song, and I thought by myself, well, could it be interesting to, let this remain an instrumental song, or should I make it more poppy? Should I really make it a pop song? Will it just be a soundscape, or will it be a pop song? And then I thought by myself, well, it could be interesting to, really make this an April afternoon pop song, and that's when I started coming up with the lyrics. And I think the lyrics in general are a bit dark, and I think you hear that in the song. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Do you have the lyrics handy, by the way?
yeah, of
I
course,
should
of
I should have
course.
asked you
It's what
ahead
you
of
do
time.
always, right?
Well, not
Yeah.
always, but I thought it's
Oh
interesting.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, because I'm interested to hear them myself because I looked on. My thing is always to look on Bandcamp because I know you have to pay to get them
Oh
on
yeah.
Spotify, but Bandcamp lets them on free. So I'm always like, did he put the lyrics on Bandcamp?
Oh,
Always
okay. I didn't
curious.
even know that you have to pay to have the lyrics on Spotify. I
Yeah,
just always forget to, I don't know, write them down on Spotify. But
yeah, yeah, yeah.
okay, yeah,
Uh,
they're also not on Bandcamp. Yeah, I guess I was a little bit lazy with that, but yeah. So you want to hear them?
yeah, I want to hear them. Yeah.
All right, man. So it starts silent but safe. I'm on my way now. No homeless wave. I will be fine somehow. Say what you want, but I'll stay where I'm at. Nothing to flaunt. Love don't live in this flat. If not now, when? Staring at the apple tree, what used to be a dream you see is now a fallen piece of perished fruit. Compromises take away the pleasures of another day. You'll fly, and I will doubt until I die. Well, I am on my way to where I used to be when I would say, there's nothing but decay. I'm where I used to be walking through your day. And then there's this piece
Mm,
saying, dancing to the sound of what once was, replicated days, alive on pause. So you left a nest of birds of prey. You're worse off than I am, but hey, this feeling doesn't go away today. So that's about it. Then it goes back to the chorus, "Well, I'm on my way," but that's about the lyrics.
mm,
Yeah, so it's the song is about looking up to someone else. It's about, walking through someone else's day. And by every step you take in your own life, you think, oh, well, what would this person do? It could be, doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be someone you're in love with. It can also just be like a colleague, or it's someone you're looking up to. And the person in this song thinks its own life is, in some kind of ways, maybe going to a grind hall. That's the life is on pause for the person I'm singing about. I like to tell a
mm,
story in this song, so it's a bit
mm.
of a dark story, and the person is always, walking in someone else's day, finding out what someone else is doing, and yeah, so this is a bit of a dark theme, I would say.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think
Oh, that's
probably a
so
lot of
cool.
people can relate to this. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah. It's so interesting because I always misinterpret your songs. I got a thing going. I was like going into some metaphysical thing of like, oh, it's a spirit and is inhabiting this person that they can't be with anymore.
yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Well, once again, you can interpret any song in the way you like yourself, so it should be open to some extent, I guess. But
Yeah.
this is what I actually came up with in terms of the of the lyrics of the meaning I wanted to give it. Yeah.
Mm. You know, I would love to hear like one of your songs like this, like if you just did an instrumental version of this and had another singer come up with a song to it, because I think it would just highlight how unusual and melodic your choices actually are. You know what I mean?
Oh, really?
Like I think your melodies are so good, you know. I mean, I can't imagine
Oh,
coming out
thanks.
the with the, well, na, 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 na. I mean, it really, you're just like, just like skating all over the place. It's the really, really beautiful melodies. Um, I mean, throughout the song, but that chorus really gets me. There's something really melancholy about that melody as well,
Nice,
and the
nice. Thank
harmonies
you.
too, and the harmonies. Beautiful
Uh,
harmonies in the chorus on that one. Yeah.
So yeah, that's always what I like to do, to create choirs in an 80s synth pop environment, because I think that adds something to what synth pop has been, because it wasn't about choirs in the 80s. It was I'm also in a post-punk band, and we're doing like really like 80s sounding post-punk songs, and I always want to incorporate choirs in my band. And
Mm.
the rest of the band always says, no, 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 we can do that. That's not our style, you know. So I like to do it with this project. So,
And
yeah,
but with by choirs, are you talking about like harmonies
yeah, like
in the
multiple
song,
voices
or like a
singing
multiple
together.
together? Okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So you're
yeah,
thinking of
yeah.
it actually as like a choir. I didn't know if that was like
Uh,
I didn't know if it was a English as second language translation of like choir or
I'm
a harmony
sorry. Yeah,
part.
of
But I
course
like
I'm
that.
Dutch. Yeah,
I like
yeah.
the choir. I like the choir word. Yeah, because yeah. How many parts are there? How many parts are you singing there? Vocal parts on the chorus?
Oh, vocal parts. Oh, yeah, yeah. So I even have this here with my lyrics. So this is what I used when I went to the studio to record it, and I even have it here. So it says number of voices, aantal stemmen in Dutch, and so in the choir, I think, yeah. So it's about two, or yeah, probably you can't read that, but it's about two or three. So there are songs where I have more like voices singing together, but in some parts there are three voices singing together. There's even one sentence where there's four voices singing together, and uh, I mean you can't have too many because at a certain point all the melodies are, gone. So there's only a few combinations you can do, I guess, but yeah.
And
Yeah.
what was I going to ask you? What like how did you come up with the lyrics to this? Did you was the music all completely done, and then do you kind of like take a walk and listen to it for a few days and come up with things, or what's your approach to piecing together a vocal idea or a melody and lyrics into the
Yeah.
musical part? It
Yeah,
sounds
so
like the
that's
music was completely done. If you're like saying, "Oh, well, maybe this should be an instrumental," or
yeah. So when I created an instrumental at first, I think I showed the song. I let some of my friends hear the song, and some of them said, "Well, this sounds like an 80s tune for a show or something." And I was like, "Oh, well, that's not the kind of the thing I'm trying to approach here." So
horrible
yeah, I think
friends.
yeah, we're friends, right? Yeah. So no, it doesn't matter. It's all good. I can take a little criticism. But then I think I started with the verses. So the first verse and then I don't know the chorus. And the funny thing actually about this approach is, and if you listen to the EP words, it happens more often, is that like this the first verse is really different from the second one. So
Mm,
in terms of the melodies, of the vocals. So that's
yeah.
because of this approach. And yeah, so now I'm also singing in another band and creating songs for them, but that's just me on my guitar playing songs again. And then it's a really different approach from what I've been doing here.
Yeah. Oh,
But I
that's
don't know,
fun though.
this
Yeah.
this leads to something else, right? Yeah, it leads
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
it can lead to some magic. I don't know. It depends on what your taste is, but yeah.
Yeah. I really like this like kind of other, it's almost like a other character, like treated vocal that you do. It's a little more distorted or saturated or something. And it's almost like it reminds me you're almost like a Lennon to your own McCartney kind of thing,
Okay.
like the thing of like if not now when that kind of
Oh yeah, yeah,
slightly
yeah.
treated vocal, and I've heard it on a few songs now, and I'm just wondering how you think about that. Is it to kind of give a little different emphasis to that part, or it almost sounds like another character in the song?
Yeah, I wanted to make it, I don't know, sort of a big microphone effect on it. Um, yeah, I don't think that I did this really that much on purpose. That this is a sort of a strategy that I'm trying to approach in every song, but I just thought by myself during, these little pieces in this song, if not now, when? If not now, when? It would sound better with like I don't know, a big microphone effect. So
Yeah, like
yeah,
kind
I
of
don't know.
emphasize
That's
in some way or something like that.
emphasizes
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah, I guess. So actually, when I recorded that, I was also thinking, well, this might be too pathetic, actually. So I was a little bit insecure about that part, and maybe about the general song. Was thinking maybe it could be perceived as too pathetic, but I don't know. It's
Oh, thank
charted now in the indie
you.
chart in the Netherlands, so I'm really happy about that.
Oh, congrats.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah, that's
well, I
cool.
never think that about anything you do, man. I think, yeah. So throw those insecurities away, man. You're like doing
Thanks,
such
man.
great stuff.
Thanks.
Um, but yeah, talk a little bit more about like when you had the musical part all done. What do you do to get the lyric part going or the vocal part going? Do you kind of do you put it, do the melodies come first and you don't, some people
Yeah.
kind of do this almost like gibberish language and try to get a melody in there. Some
Oh
people
yeah, yeah.
wait till there's words and then try to piece them in. I mean, how did you do it on this one?
Yeah, you would expect me to have the second approach because my EP is called Words, but I'm into the gibberish part. Yeah, so at first, the first part of the song was an instrumental, and then it became a gibberish song. And I don't know, I recorded, and I have some, melodies in my mind, and then I just recorded at home with words that doesn't make any sense. They don't make any sense, and yeah, then I start writing it because I think, the words are kind of difficult always. I think it's the hardest part to come up with the proper words of what you want to say.
Mm,
So as long as you have a good melody and then the words should fit into that melody, should fit into I don't know, the rhythm of
the
the song.
gibberish.
Uh, yeah, so
The
gibberish is
gibberish melody. Yeah.
it's something that works for me at the start. Yeah. Yeah.
So you
So
have
you
this gibberish melody in there, and then you're
yeah.
listening back to it and kind of jotting down lyrics that you feel, or do you take a walk in nature, or do you go to, walk
Uh,
through Amsterdam, take some mushroom gummies? I mean,
Don't do that. No. Yeah. Well, sometimes it can really work, having a free brain and not listening to podcasts all of the time, just
mm,
thinking about what you want to say, and there's always something going on in your own life, or just something, you read in the paper or something. That's also something that happens to me sometimes.
mm,
And so when I'm about to write the lyrics, I'm searching for something to write about, and yeah, it could be anything, but I shouldn't be too distracted. So yeah, taking a walk can be a good approach to come up with some lyrics, I guess. Yeah. So sometimes I do that. Yeah. Um, yeah. Yeah, it's a difficult question, but yeah,
yeah, yeah.
sometimes. Yeah.
So what is it? A few different methods that you used on this song in terms of that, like maybe a walk, maybe I see something, and like, what is it, like a gathering process from these different methods, like for this song
Well,
specifically?
hmm. Yeah, I can't really remember the way I approached this one
Okay.
lyric wise. I just know that in general it works for me to not be as distracted as you are in when you're having like a normal day. But yeah, I don't really remember actually. But yeah, usually I just sit down and write something down and then check whether everything is grammatically correct and stuff like that. And yeah, so it can actually, these lyrics can take hours and hours and hours because you want to say something that is like lyrically valid, I guess, but also something that's correct, but it also has to be arty. And I think it's really difficult because I mean, I'm also a journalist, and when I write articles, that's
Okay, is that
so
right?
much
All right.
easier. Yeah, so I'm a
I
writer,
also
so
have a
yeah.
journalist background. Yeah.
I know actually.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, great. Yeah. And how
Yeah.
do you do that when you write lyrics yourself?
Um, well, I had an interesting experience the other day where actually I find often that like inspiration comes at extremely inconvenient times, So I'm like
Oh yeah.
I'm a health coach, and I was on my way to a park to train this woman, and
Ah.
I had this weird music thing that I just came up with on the train on GarageBand on my iPhone, and then I was walking there and I was a little late, so I was out of breath. And then
Yeah.
I started doing a gibberish vocal, like you said, right? And
Mm-hmm.
because the nature of me walking and the breathiness, and I was using like this kind of telephone effect as well. So it sounded like a walkie-talkie. And it sounded like
Oh
someone
yeah.
was upset and using a walkie-talkie. So that threw me into this like post-apocalyptic kind of love story of like this, guy is on the walkie-talkie and saying, "Meet me at the place, meet me at our
Ah,
meeting place that we said, when the whole
that's
world's like
cool.
coming down, and and then I actually kept one of the gibberish verses because it was like it was
Yeah.
so gibberish, and I had a limiter on it, so it was doing like that. Uh, uh, uh,
Oh
like that,
yeah.
and I just kept, and then something came through, and it was just like angels, future beings, and I was like, wow, okay, I'm just gonna keep that.
This works, right? Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so then it turned
Nice.
into this thing where future beings are coming from the future to help, the human race after
Oh,
its collapse and all this kind of
okay.
stuff.
Well, that's a cool story.
Yeah, and this was on a 5-minute walk from from the metro to meet my client. So yeah, I often
Yeah.
find that, or sometimes I try to, I've got 3 kids, and I'm like trying to come up with ideas.
Yeah.
It,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that I'm trying to come up with ideas, but ideas hit at really
Yeah.
inopportune
Yeah.
times. Like my daughter's got like 5 friends over, and I'm trying to sneak in the bathroom and do a vocal. So it's helped that I
Yeah.
stopped.
Fair.
It's helped
Yeah.
that I stopped, caring about what people think of me, because, yeah,
Yeah.
these 15-year-olds would be like, "What the fuck is the matter with your old man?"
It's in a way it's recognizable. I remember myself being on a holiday somewhere in the southern part of Italy, and also I had this vocal in my mind, and I was on a train station going to a corner where no one saw me, and then I just, sang it into my phone, So yeah, yeah, yeah.
I've done
That's
that
how.
too. Like, I'm judging the distance of people away, and I'm like, is this is this too crazy?
Yeah, like really soft, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, there's this other song on the EP called "I'm Going Back," and the lyrics, or the like the I don't know how do you say it, like the song structure of this song. I had it in my mind when I was brushing my teeth, so I just recorded it on my phone, and that's the first song of this. It's the first song of the EP. So, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Sometimes it also happens like that. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
cool. Yeah, magic happens sometimes when you're not expecting it. Indeed. Yeah.
yeah. And how does it feel to you to like listen to the whole EP now that it's come out and everything? Is it sitting well with you? Like, can you listen to it and enjoy it and stuff? Or are you like a type that's like, okay, it's done, I'm not listening to it ever again?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Well, that's the problem with your own music. There's always parts of your song that you're not happy with anymore when it's released. But I'm trying to be, content with all my song. I think the general production, I really like it. Also, yeah, this producer, Thijs de Melker, he helped me, mixing it all and, finalizing my own production. And I think he's done a really good job.
Mm,
But there's always room for improvement, these were the first 4 songs that I really produced myself, from A to, Z or something until the end. So there's
yeah.
always room for improvement. I think in general, with some of the vocals on some of the songs, I think some more editing would have been nice, I guess. But well, yeah, there's room for
Yeah.
improvement. I'm making a second EP, so
Oh, good.
let's hope it will be even better.
Well, I'm excited to see where
Yeah.
you come from, because I also really see like like a really big and fast like curve of like I was talking to this about the Chris from Delphine too, where it's so exciting for me to see like the evolution of an artist like right before your eyes. I think you've really like you're just like going whoosh, and I'm really excited to
Uh,
where it's going next.
thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah. A roller coaster going in the right direction or something. Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
because
Thanks.
sometimes it's
Yeah.
like, I mean, I'm such a big fan of Modern Lovers, and I think that
Thanks.
song is so great. And I was like, I actually think that it's so great. I was like nervous for you of what you could possibly come up with. You know what I mean? I was like, what the hell is
Yeah.
he gonna do? This
Okay.
is so awesome. But
Oh,
and then
okay.
I think that this pivot with like walking through your day and the vibe on it is just like you just like totally pulled off like something new, but it's still that April afternoon vibe. And yeah, I really thought,
Yeah.
I really think you did a great job. I'm surprised you can hear things that you want to change, honestly, because I think it all really sounds so good, you know?
Oh, thanks very much. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it can only go downhill from now, so I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. You
Yeah.
know, but I remember I used to do that too. So I mean, I mean, like 20, 30 years ago, I would have like actually,
Yeah.
no, maybe not 20, but I would say like 30 years ago, when I was in
Mhm.
my 20s, I think I really had a hard time, you know, even listening to my voice, you know. I'd be like, oh, no, you know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
now I really can just I mean, I think that's something that's happened with age, where I'm just like, oh, I can just enjoy it, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Too,
Yeah.
but too,
Maybe. Yeah.
like you said,
Yeah.
you're working as producer guy, where I'm working with James K. Ultra, you know, and
Yeah.
a pain in the
Yeah.
ass, and I'm such a fan of what he does, and then
Amazing,
where he
right?
takes the song, I'm just like, you know,
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. But I
I'm
think
excited.
your voice yourself, you have something Bowie-ish going around you, and that's really nice hearing that.
Yeah, yeah,
There's also
thanks.
like a
Yeah.
vintage Scott sound. I can't put my finger on it, but when you're, coming up with a song, I always recognize it as one of yours. So
Oh yeah, oh
there's
that's
like this
cool.
stamp
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
Scott
Oh,
Baker
nice.
Graham
Yeah,
stamp.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I think you have that too. Yeah, that's not so easy, I guess. But yeah, I'm happy that you said that.
Thanks so much.
I'll have to, because you know, I have this album coming out in
Yeah,
well, in 10 days actually.
super
And
exciting, man.
yeah, I mean, I'm excited for it, but I'm already like, I already have the single. We just finished the single for the second first one of this next album. I'm just like, go forward, you know.
Yeah,
And
that's the best. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
And
but
will Home be actually on the new album then? Your
no,
your track
that
Home.
was not gonna be. That was not gonna be. But
Oh,
a strange thing is happening, yeah, with Burnt Log, where we're actually working on another collab already. And
nice.
he had this song that's it's not very Burnt Log actually. It's all synths, you know, and it's I think you will dig it too, because it's a very 80s synth pop kind of
Nice, nice, nice.
ballad thing. And
Looking forward.
and I he's like, yeah, see what you come up with. And I just came up with the first, you know, the first thing that came to me. And I sent it to him, and he was like over the moon about it. And
Uh-huh.
so I think we might be headed towards a SBG Burnt Log EP. So
That would
yeah,
be
so
nice, man.
I didn't
Yeah.
put home on there. Yeah, so maybe we'll be heading in that direction.
It seems like a project that I would say doing that from such a long distance would be complicated in terms of how you
Yeah.
create songs from so far away from each other. How do you do that?
Yeah, I mean, well, I mean, I'm in Denmark and he's in Scotland, so that's not as bad as me
Scotland,
and
right?
James.
Yeah.
James is in you know, southern Virginia in the
Yeah, but it's not
US.
like you're together in a studio, right? So
That's true.
yeah.
That's true. That's true.
It-
Yeah, it's really interesting. Yeah, we just send stuff back and forth and add to it, and you know, and discuss arrangements and stuff like that. And
yeah.
this was a challenge with this recent one that he did. He had no idea about. He had some really cool parts. He had no idea what the arrangement was because he was too close to it. And so I just said,
Yeah.
this, that, you know. And he was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
thank you," you know.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So that worked out well. And are you doing a collaboration as well? Can we make a? No, we won't make any announcement. But I heard you might be doing a collaboration. Is that true?
Yeah, there might be something going with
I'm excited to hear what
Chronic
that
Dream.
might be.
Sorry, I'm
Chronic
saying
Dream,
it the
yeah,
wrong
yeah,
way.
yeah. And
Yeah, Chronic Dreams,
David
of course.
Burgess, yeah, yeah. But
So
yeah, I'm
yeah, I don't know. He
excited to
approached
hear
me for
what
it.
that might
Yeah,
be. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So I haven't done anything yet, but yeah, why not? Let's go and try it out. He asked me for it, so cool. Yeah.
And yeah, that's thrilling for me because I did one with him and James did one with him, and I think he's headed towards an
Oh yeah,
EP
yeah.
of X. So we'll end
Oh,
up on the same EP, dude. We'll be
oh,
like,
that would be nice.
the next step is going out on
Cool.
tour, man.
Yeah, it would be cool to have a festival with all these artists that I'm, experiencing, that I'm seeing here on, Instagram and stuff like that. Are
Yeah,
you planning any live shows yourself, or how do you do it?
I I haven't done it yet, and I think if I do it, I'm going to try to make it real easy to make me an opening act, which I would be like 5 songs, and I'm singing to backing tracks, and it would just be
Yeah,
me on stage, and I'm going to be kind of like I'm envisioning that I'm this kind of drag queen from outer space, kind of uh,
yeah,
almost
yeah,
performance art kind of person, so that I can like hold the stage, on my own. And so
yeah.
that's
And you
kind of
don't
what
have to
I'm
play
envisioning.
something.
Yeah, I don't. I'm
Yeah,
not going to play anything. I'm just going to perform. That's what
yeah.
I'm thinking. So we'll see. What
That's what I
about you?
thought
Are
by
you
myself too.
headed towards
Yeah,
that?
I was thinking something like this as well. So I don't know. It might be that I would, do some sort of MP3 act with me singing above a track. I have some tracks where I can sing. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I
Oh,
don't
cool.
know. I'm not.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'm not sure yet. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we're going to get cut off. So I want to thank you for doing this today. My Zoom's going to get cut off. And love
Okay.
the EP and congratulations, man. And I'm very excited to see what you do next.
Thank
Yeah.
you very
Thanks for doing
much. It
this
was
today.
really nice talking to you.